What's your biggest regret from your teenage years? All the responsible people on this thread wanted to be more irresponsible, and all the irresponsible people wanted to be more responsible. The grass is always greener on the other side. I don't think anyone had enjoyed their teenage years enough to never regret parts of it. It's an unwritten rule to cringe at the teenage years. So determined to impress my classmates that I would stretch the truth so I could brag about myself. Now I realize most of them saw through it. If I could only go back, I would slap some duct tape across younger me's mouth. At least you, hopefully, left that behind in your teenage years. Lot to adults out here still trying this cringe move, and while it's embarrassing at 15, it's just deeply, deeply sad at 35. This right here, I can resonate with this. Caring about what people think of me too much. I spent the entire time basically being who I thought everyone else wanted me to be. Interesting. So did you change? Are you the person you want to be? In elementary school, I did the exact opposite. If everyone thought something was cool, I'd do the opposite. Obviously there were some limitations to it, but that's how I ended up as the loner. As a wise woman once said, I wasted all my thin years thinking I was fat. I have never related to anything as much as this. I used to actually fucking cry cause I was gaining weight when I was a teenager that was still growing up. All I can say is preach. I wish that I had taken mom up on her offer to teach me how to cook during those teenage years. It would have been so helpful, both during college and beyond. It was a missed opportunity because she's a great cook and a natural teacher. If she's still alive, do it now before it's too late. If she's not, take classes. I sent my husband out to Asian fusion cooking. He makes the best butter chicken on the planet. And you know what, it was all firemen and policemen. He loved the class. Oof, I relate to you a little too hard. I didn't stand up for myself enough. I'm still too worried about how people will react if I say no or refuse to do something. I'm 20, and I wish I lived more of my life not caring what others think of me. I don't like getting in confrontations, so I'll often just tell people what they want to hear. The problem is that if you make a habit of doing it, people will just expect to hear what they want every time. Just know you always come first. Please don't constantly worry about how others will feel if you get upset, or that you need to make everyone happy, with complete disregard for yourself. My girlfriend is in that mindset, and it worries me so much that I didn't spend more time with my parents before losing them. Mom when I was 19, Dad right before I turned 26. I'm sorry. That's so young. Hope you're coping okay. Same. I often think about all those times my mom used to ask me to go to Walmart with her, just to buy random stuff. I always said no. If I could turn back time, I would choose to go with her every single time. So sorry for your loss. I spent so much time waiting for something to happen. Like sitting on some steps outside of a house waiting for something to happen. Hanging out with people I did not really like waiting for something to happen. I feel like so much time was wasted waiting for something to happen, instead of doing something or making things happen. What are you waiting for, kid? I don't know, something amazing to happen. Me too, kid. You are young and life is long. There is time to kill today. Then one day you find 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun time. Pink Floyd edit, messed up a word. I wore a fedora to prom, and prior to prom I had asked someone out and took the rejection really badly, said a lot of stupid shit on social media and acted out when asked about it. Also, back when it was a thing to add random people on FB, I used to post all sorts of corny, white knight one-liners. Yeah, I'm glad social media wasn't really a thing when I was in high school. We had MySpace, but it was nothing like today. Yeah, okay, but by posting this, you've actually owned up and admitted you may have not been being a stellar guy at the time. So, you've owned up to it, admitted your past faults and sound like you've matured. Total win-emo. Cowardice. I was so unsure of myself and awkward. I know that all teenagers struggle with this, but as I look back now from my 40s, that kid in high school had so much going for him, he just didn't know it. The more he cared about fitting in, the less he fit in, and the worse people treated him. Girls were like an alien species and the future was terrifying. But it didn't have to be. I can totally relate. I'm barely out of my teenage years, but I specifically really regret that I turned down romantic relationships. I was such a coward about it. I cared more about how people would perceive me dating someone than actually dating that person, if that makes sense. I wish I hadn't cared about what people thought and just given those relationships a chance. Same here. Just the lack of self-confidence and assuming everyone thought the worst of me at all times was brutal. If I would have just relaxed and enjoyed myself, it would have made a lot of things go much smoother. Blacked out for a second and hurt my bird. I felt and still feel so terrible about it. Are you British and talking about a girl, or are you talking about a pet bird? Was your bird okay though? Less than 3. This programming stuff is cool, maybe I'll learn it one day. 10 years later I'm just getting started. Man, if I had 10 years of experience under my belt right now I would be set for life. The best moment to start was 10 years ago, the second best is today. Godspeed to you. Good for you for getting into it. I am currently a junior in college going for Comp Sci with a focus in cybersecurity. I was previously a business major, but since switching I have become super excited about the field because of the growth and opportunities available. Not becoming more involved in groups/activities and not going out on weekends to parties. How do you even get invited to parties? Sports, for me. Cliché, but I lost a lot of friends due to excessive online gaming. I kept refusing to go out with them and socializing in general. Plus when college hit I didn't know how to talk to people and how to make friends. Ongoing process. World of Warcraft. Going through this RN, please let me know what steps helped you. Being mean to my mom. If it's any consolation, I'm a mom of a teenager, and preparing myself for this inevitability. Came here to say this. I hate how I treated my mom when I was a teenager and I feel like I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make it up to her. I love my mama and she's my best friend now. I wish I had taken more risks. I worried about getting in trouble too much. I missed out on some fun because of that, and tried to play catch up when I was 19, which led to me going a bit too hard through my 20s. I'm okay now, successful and doing well. But there's lots of things I did in my 20s that I might not have done had I got it out of my system in my teens. I'm just lucky things turned out okay for me. 31 now. I worried about getting in trouble too much. Yeah, this was me as well. I was terrified of authority. It probably came from being bullied by my older brother, and being scared of getting beat. This is what I came here for. I'm 26 now and doing better, but took 19 to 24 to realize I was wasting my life away. Not doing more productive stuff, and drinking too much. It was fun, but sometimes it was very unnecessary and could have done lots of stuff with that time. Also more sex. I did the opposite. I studied a lot, made good grades, etc., but I realized later there were all these parties going on that I knew nothing about. Maybe because I was a nerd and wasn't invited, I don't know. I did the same thing in college. Now I wish I'd gone to a few more parties and talked to more girls. I accomplished a lot by working for my classes all the time. But I wish now I'd had a little more balance. All the sex you can muster so your oats have been sowed. A girl glances back at you and you blow your full load. Still a teen, but I wish I focused less on isolating myself early on in high school and being a loner with Amy versus them mentality. I've stunted myself socially and dug myself into a hole. To be fair, a lot of it stemmed from mental health issues and unresolved trauma, but I was also stubborn as hell and waited way too long to seek help and grow past all of it. I've stunted myself socially and dug myself into a hole. Can you describe this for us? I'm not sure what you mean by this. Not applying for every scholarship that was available for college. It's basically free real estate money. Yep, I feel you. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.